What is going on, everybody? This is the Real Deals, Real Estate Calls Call. What's up, everybody? What's up, Nathan
That
Benson?
was you had trouble. You had trouble on that one today.
I did, man.
I think
I
you,
thought
you sounded like you were rapping for a moment.
really.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
smooth.
It was
Hidden talent.
smooth, but it could have been better. All right. So, but everybody, thanks for tuning in. What do we do on these calls? What the heck? Who are we? That's also another question. Why are we doing these calls and who are we? Let's start with who we are, because that's a question a lot of people want to know. Like, why am I listening to these guys? Do they have any authority? Is there any reason why I should listen to them and waste my time? All right. So first I'll start. My name's Nathan Payne. Been wholesaling for over 6 years now. Done hundreds of deals, millions of dollars in transactions, and not as a flex, but I'm showing you guys I've done deals. I'm doing deals, so I know what I'm talking about. And my goal is to help you do more deals, because potentially maybe we can do a deal together. I'd love to do that. Nathan Valley, what's up? Who are you?
Yeah, what's going on, guys? I'm Nathan Valley. Man, been wholesaling for 4 or 5 years. Did over 100 contracts in a single year. Some of you might have seen my 30-day challenge I did a year ago. Totally brand new market, no contacts, no resources, nothing. And did a $20,000 deal in 30 days without spending any money on marketing. Yeah, we're here to do some deals
Using Privy. And Benson, who are you?
Yeah, so I am one of the owners of said products, and I've been in the business for over 20 years. I'm a licensed agent. I do wholesale, do short-term rental, buy and hold, creative deal structure. I'm learning that right now on the sub 2 angle. But yeah, I've done a lot. I've seen the ups and downs of the markets. I've done all kinds of different strategies, and I'm here to support the Nathans with any anecdotes or stories or funny little tips and tricks too.
We love the support, man. We really appreciate it. Okay. So if anybody's watching this now, you know who we are. What's the plan? Why do we do these calls? The plan is to show you what this looks like in real life. Real calls, real deals. Nathan Valley, as always, he's crushing it. He looks great. He calls great. He's smooth. He's going to make some calls today. We're going to see, and we're going to break them down. I'm going to break it down on this board. Benson's going to give his feedback and say, hey, you can't represent Privy or even talk about Privy, man. You're trash on the phone. Or he's going to say, you did a great job. I'm proud of you. That's what our plan is. We're going to make calls. And again, the promise is we call. Okay. We don't just talk. We do it. We show you so you can see, should I even listen to these guys? So that's what this call is about. This is what we're going to do today. Let's dive right in. Nathan, tell us a little bit about why it's so important to have the right process when you're calling on Privy, like calling agents.
Yeah, guys. So, man, when you guys can help it, how's this saying go? A tool, what is it? A tool's only as good as the person using it, or something along those lines, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
This is a perfect example, right? So it's Privy is like a marksman rifle. In the wrong hands, man, you can only do so much with it. But when you know what you're doing, you guys can be a absolute trained assassin. So that's kind of what we're going into today, and not just, hey, how to use a tool, because that's where Benson's going to come in to help me a lot, because there's so many things I'm still learning about it. They're always, you guys are always doing like amazing updates and features, and always getting feedback from us, which is super helpful. But also on the real estate side, hey, okay, the tool is firing on all cylinders, in prime condition. But now what do we do, right? Do we send a text message? Do we send an email? How, do we get on the phone and talk to people? What does that conversation look like? And then where do we go from there? Do I make an offer? Do I not make an offer? What should I, right? And the questions go on and on and on. So the goal is to try to answer all that for you in 20-ish minutes. My goal is to try to find deals as quick as possible.
I love it. So before you start pulling up your screen and looking for a deal and calling it, I have to bring something up. So normally someone would think making an offer to an agent, if you're a real estate investor, requires this. You call, you make an offer, right? You lowball them, you crush their soul, you give them the low offer. We're going to show you why that doesn't work very well. Okay. That's a low hanging fruit deal you're looking for. That's low hanging. Good luck doing that and building a business off of that strategy, because we have what's called the Painless Flipping Academy. You can check it out, painlessflipping.com. Basically what we do is it's a done for you service that we basically take Nathan, actually, you're better at explaining what it is. I will just butcher it. But basically, we do the hardest parts of wholesaling for you. Okay. And we had someone submit a property that we gave an analysis on. And really, like, what, she's awesome. She's learning. But she basically was like, I made a low offer. What do I do? Why didn't I get? And I explained to her, I said, hey, you need to watch the video Nathan Valley did last week. We're going to do it again. But just submitting the low offer is not how you get deals from calling agents. So that's what I just want to bring up. It's not about just making the making the low offer. You have to be tactful about it. You have to be strategic. And that's what I want to talk about today, Nathan, because I think for Joyce that submitted the deal, she's awesome, amazing. I want to give her that answer of like, what is she looking for when she's making that call? It's not about just establishing contact and making a low offer. What does she need to do so she can actually get this further? Does that make sense?
100%. And yeah, guys, that's why maybe if we're able to do them quick enough, I'd love to show both examples, right? Show you guys, hey, here's what a good conversation can look like. But then also, here's what the bad conversation looks like. That'd be actually kind of fun. We should do both of those live. Does anyone want to see, hey, it goes smooth, and then also one where it crashes and burns?
I would. Yeah.
Dude, let's do it. Did you want me to go over a little bit as far as what we're looking for in the conversation?
I think so. I think it's really important because, again, most people think doing a deal, let me just call and make a low offer. If they accept it, I got a deal.
Yeah, guys, whether you're direct to seller or direct to agent, when we're direct to agent, and again, I have a little bit of a different philosophy than some people, but I approach my conversations with agents almost identical to how I do if I'm talking directly to a seller, right? So I'm never making an offer on that first call. I'm genuinely caring more about the other person's outcome more than they do. Also, we're looking for motivation. So I'm not just going into, what's the lowest they'll take? Here's my offer. Right. Me personally, I like to go through, hey, what's their motivation? What's going on with the house? What other things are valuable to them other than price? And trying to uncover all the information that I can that surrounds this specific property and this specific listing. Right. And once we uncover all that information, then get a feel for, okay, how much, is this an opportunity? Right? Is this a qualified lead? And do we think we have a strong chance of getting it to a price that we need to be at?
There's a term for what you just described. It's called building rapport, right? So you want to build rapport with people so that so they feel good enough about talking to you about either the property or themselves and their needs. If you don't build that rapport first, then getting any sort of valuable information that can help them and yourself is going to be next to impossible. And if that's just all done through just talking, having a personality and asking questions, being a good listener.
Yeah. And did you notice, guys, none of those answers when it comes to building rapport was, oh, you like cats, I like cats too. That doesn't necessarily build rapport, right? That's great if that's the case. But what it is you're going to build, especially with agents, right? When working with agents, one of the really nice perks is these are other business professionals. Right. So when you're working with an agent and just in the business world in general, one of the best ways you can build rapport is just by demonstrating this is somebody I would like to do business with. Right. I don't really care what, they like in the person, what football team they like, or if they like cats or whatever. But if they do business the way I want to do business, that's all the rapport I need. So are we ready to hop on in?
Let's do it.
Ready. All right. Let me share my screen.
And I like what you said, Benson, because, it just makes sense. Like, really, I think the reason why a lot of people don't do deals that are on market is because they look at it. It would just make sense. Let me just make an offer and you say yes or no. And I just got to do a lot of those. But you're dealing with a human being. You're dealing with an agent that doesn't want to suggest you should go with this offer if they don't trust, feel good about that. Right. So you're dealing with them. They're in the way. Right. So if you're just making low offers and not making that connection, they're probably not even going to recommend that your offer. I know if they have that fiduciary responsibility, they can't say too much about the deal, and they also can't not present your offer. It's required to, but depends on what light they present it, right? They could just be like, yeah, you do not want to go with this one. It's really low, right? So you definitely have to get the agent on your side.
Yep.
100%. Sorry, I was just moving some stuff around real quick. And then one thing I want to explain. So, guys, the first thing that you saw here. So in my email box, do you notice how all there is privy emails? That's it. So just a little pro tip. When you sign up for privy, and Nate, just let them know whatever the promo code is. You guys will get a special discount. When you
Painless,
guys use Privy,
painless. PAYNELESS. Painless.
I highly recommend creating a new Gmail account, and that way this email will only have your Privy real estate deals in here, right? And guys, Privy does all the hard work for me, right? I set up my filters, all right? I sign up for Privy, I get my filters set up, and now Privy is doing the hard work and only sending me the deals that meet my criteria. So this is the first one. So in this email
they could
today,
do
we've
a
got
brand new email, or they can just make a folder and have it go to there.
That's a good idea too.
Depends how savvy you are with Google, Google Gmail. And look, we got a fan, Nick A. Batcher. He is laughing. It's live, and he's just laughing and having a great time. I'm so grateful.
I love it
that we're bringing joy to Nick's life.
All right. So we're taking a quick look at this. So some of the things I'm looking at, price is typically the last thing I ever look at. First thing I'm looking at is pictures, right? How many days it's been listed, and then description. And what I'm looking for are indicators of motivation, right? So at a quick glance at pictures, it's not in bad shape. It's could it be updated and made nicer? Sure. I don't really know what this neighborhood specifically looks like. But could somebody improve this property? I would say yes. Okay. That's one box checked. Up here, 2 days listed. Okay. It hasn't been listed for a long time. Pretty short. Price is $240. Then in the description, is there anything that says a handyman special, fixer upper, cash offers only? Right. So when looking at this, I am not seeing really any verbiage along that, right? Versatile, not really. And then what I'll do is I will take a quick peek at comps. So the way I like to do comps, guys, if you're new to Privy, I recommend doing what Benson recommends, which is don't necessarily mess with the settings until you're a little bit more familiar. Because what it does is Privy, again, they did an amazing job making this tool so that it does the hard work for you. Right now, it's only showing me the comps that are, when they look at kind of all the criteria attached to the property, these are the only comps that are actually relevant for me to be looking at. Now, for me, I've been doing this for a little while, so I like to kind of see everything because I'm able to do so relatively quickly. If I was just starting out, oh my gosh, I would be here for hours and I wouldn't be very effective with my time. But I like to take a real quick glance, and what I'm trying to get a feel for is just what's the general price point in the neighborhood. So we've got this sold for $249, 3.1. Ours is a 3.2, 1,500 square feet, and ours does not have a garage. And when did that sell? That sold back in October. Let's see what sold for $400. Okay, so right off the bat, this looks like retail price, right? Probably, again, could it be something I could call on? Yes, but I'm going to see what else is in my email first. So I think that was the first one I looked at. Yes or no? All right, now let's take a peek at this one. So listed 6 days, delightful 3-bedroom, not too many photos up here. Now, one thing I'll do is, because this is a little bit out there. Benson, do you think there might be a chance that because this is kind of far out, there might not be photos?
Far out from where? What do you mean far out?
Just kind of a major area. This is kind of on the outskirts of Orlando.
Oh. No, it's hard to say. Some agents like to put a bunch of photos in. Some people don't.
Yeah,
it's been on long enough to where like if there was going to be like any added, they would have done that already.
Mm-hmm.
If the house is really bad, they usually don't put photos, or if they can't get in because there's an issue, like a tenant lives there and they can't get them out. So this
Yep.
might be one just to call just to find out. Be like, hey, why
Yeah.
aren't there any pictures?
All right. So the other thing is at a real quick glance, right? So they're asking 265 and it's kind of in the middle, right? Someone could argue retail, but honestly, it looks like retail's probably a little bit higher, right? It's right, stuff selling for 300, 285, 290. So chances are they're trying to be conservative, but still overpriced. And then the description. Oh, here we go. Property is occupied by a tenant and their lease expires on this date. Excellent investment opportunity. Let's call her up. Renee here. All right. So what I do. So this is an opportunity that I want to call on. Again, I don't really care too much on price. I have no clue what
Hey,
I would
really
need to
quick.
call.
Let's just go over that really quick. What made you think this is an opportunity? This is one to call. Why?
Yeah. So a couple things, guys. One, the picture / lack of pictures, right? So one, when I look on the picture of this outside, that doesn't look bad, doesn't look terrible, but doesn't look like it's a new built property by any means, right? Also, car kind of just chilling on the front lawn, could be an indicator. And then also, again, Payne, like you just mentioned, guys, there's no other photos here, right? If somebody wants to sell a house and if man, they've got a good product to sell, they're going to want to show you, all the photos of it. But if it's bad, if it's in rough shape, they know more people are likely to call if they don't see those photos. But then the other thing is when we look down at the description, right? So kind of in the beginning, they're just talking about the property. But then right here, the property is occupied by a tenant and their lease expires on April 25th. So one thing, if it's a tenant occupied property already, I'm, okay, this was,
Needs
and
work.
this doesn't look like an Airbnb quality
Mhm.
type of investment property, right? That would at least just be my guess off the bat. So strong chances that the house could be really, really kind of worn on the inside. And then on top of that, they say, hey, would make an excellent investment property. So what
What I love about this picture? Out of all the pictures of the house, they picked the one that the guys parked in the drive on the lawn. Now that might just be normal in that area, but I'm finding one where there's not a car parked on the lawn for the one I see.
right,
Where I'm
right.
trying to say.
So there could be issues with the tenant. We don't know, right? There's a lot of
About to
unanswered
find out.
questions.
Okay,
But
Nate.
again,
Sorry,
we're just
Nate.
trying to figure out, is it worth calling on? And the answer
Yeah,
is
so
yes.
you said why call? We got no photo, just one description said investors and then parked on driveway, one photo. So really it's just like, okay, the price, because the thing is price, like if you base everything off a price, if something is priced really good, everybody's going to call it. So I don't really care too much about what it's listed at, to be real. Like it can't, even if
Right.
it's like overlisted. I did a $26,000 deal on a flip that was listed so high, but I was like, it has all the indicators other than price. So we called. Eventually, we were able to do the deal once that they know what he was offering, what they wanted. So the market will dictate if the property will sell. And usually, if they're way high, but the house has these indicators that it's not, it's a flip, they find out real fast, right? So
And
don't
then
let the price shake you. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, price is for how I do things. Price is the last thing I look at, the least important. But I will say when we do look at price, right? Not that it's priced at, a smoking deal, but it is kind of just in the middle, right? They're not kind of pushed up at a ridiculous number that's like outpriced for the entire neighborhood, but they're also not the absolute lowest. So that alone, the fact that it doesn't look like they're trying to push the bar and get the absolute highest is an indicator to me. All right. So now next step. Okay. There's a property I want to call. So right here, we've got the agent and the brokerage. So I'm just going to copy that information. I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to paste. Click on one of the first ones I see. All right. Office number. Sometimes it's the cell phone. So let's call. Let's see if we can get a hold of Renee here. All right, we got 407 908 5355.
Yeah, price is a funky one. It can throw you off. So look for what if you can add value. That's the most important thing. Can you add value to the deal?
Hello, this is Renee Clark with Clark Investment Properties. I'm sorry I can't answer the phone right now, but if you'd be kind enough to leave a message.
Do you guys think that was an office number? Sounded
Yeah.
like an office
Yeah,
number.
Clark Investment Properties.
She
Interesting.
should say it was
her
Renee,
cell
though.
phone. She said her name.
That's true. Good call, guys.
She could be a one-person office.
Hello, this is Renee Clark with Clark Investment Properties. I'm sorry I can't.
All
There's the-
right.
there's the
This
mobile.
is Clark Holmes. I don't know if that is the right one. I just want to see.
She
Let's
seems
try
really nice.
this.
I trust her. She
All
seemed.
right, let's
She
try
looked
this
like
one
she
here.
was
This is a different number.
sounded.
407 933 4499.
Hello. Please leave a message after the
Come on, Renee.
She's making it hard on us.
Nope.
Hey, Renee. I don't think that was her. Did you guys hear that? Some woman picked up. She was just like, nope. Click. All right,
Call
let's
again,
try.
bro. Call again. We know they're there.
So this is, I don't think this is the right Renee because it says they're located in Illinois, but we're going to call her anyways.
Man, that's
847
I looked.
612.
The number that's on the listing is the 44991. That's the number that she has on the listing.
Is that the one you called?
Yeah, you called that one.
I think that's her. I mean, it's got to be her. Just send her a text.
All right. In the meantime, all right, let's move on to the next one, and we'll maybe get a call back from her. Let me turn off do not disturb for when she calls back. So, guys, normally what I would do, right? So, agent doesn't pick up. Most people, guys, like again, if you're struggling to do well in wholesaling, you can be better than 80% of people just by calling more than once. Right? Most people won't even spend the 2 minutes to try to find the right number, right? And guys, sometimes that's what it's going to take. But it's worth it because you've got the right opportunity that's worth spending your time on. Right? This isn't just, oh, someone's owned the house for 7 years and it's showing up as an absentee owned. No, this is a house that is listed. They want to sell right now, right? They literally are saying, investors, please call me, right? This is worth spending the extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes if needed to find the right number. It's worth spending the extra couple phone calls because the other reality is, if she's not picking her phone up for me, she's not picking it up for other people. And guys, most investors, most people will only call once and not even leave a voicemail. Typically, what I will do is I will call twice, leave a voicemail, and then immediately send a text message. And then I will do that again, maybe 45 minutes later, right? And I will do that until I get a hold of her. So, guys, and that is the kind of persistence that you guys need, especially when you know, hey, this is something worth calling on. right? You guys didn't have to spend, and that's where kind of tools like this are so valuable. I didn't have to spend 4, 6, 8 hours a day just kind of filtering through, trying to find an opportunity in somebody that's interested in selling. We found it in 10 seconds, right? We've got the right property that's worth spending our time on. We've got the person that wants to sell. We've got the type of property we're looking for. Okay, now I know it is worth spending the time to make sure I get on the phone with this person.
Yeah, and I'll say this, everybody. If I hire a real estate agent and they didn't answer and I called them 3 times, texted them and emailed them, they don't respond, they're fired. They're done. I'm putting that in their contract. If you don't answer, can you believe that? That's crazy.
So I'm already calling this. Let me tell you guys why. So 1, listed for 76 days. Love that. Also, these photos, right? It's not that the house is terrible by any means, but I mean, it could be better, right? Like
Mhm.
it could be better. It doesn't look, it's not absolutely terrible, but it's not great. Right. On top of that, we've got a price drop here. We don't know. We can look and see by how much, but again, price drop, 76 days. Let's see. An enticing investment opportunity. Guys, does anything more need to be said? Come
Nate,
on.
you can look in the property details down there in the listing history, and you can see how much they dropped it by. That's
Yeah,
another indicator of motivation, right?
100%. And one quick thing, like it's just like the little details that I appreciate, Benson. So thank you. I don't have to scroll. Guys, right at the top here, if I just click public records, it does it for me. And then property history. So this thing got listed back in March for looks like basically 245. And right now they are at 225. So 20K price drop. So which is good. And then let me just take a real quick peek at what comps are looking like. Just to get an idea. Again, I like to get, especially when there's a ton of results, guys, I like to look really close, right? I want to look, what's right on this street and the streets next to it. So they're asking 225, right? And I'm just a general idea of price points. Okay, I'm seeing stuff sell as high as 340. I'm seeing stuff as low as 215. Just not, and ours is a 32,000 square foot. So ours is kind of the same style as this one. What's sold right next to it, right? Similar, 32, 295. Okay, cool. Let's give it a call, right? And I don't want to spend too much time on this, guys, right? Because I might find within the first 2 minutes, oh, they already accepted an offer, and are going a different route or whatever the case may be. All right, so let's get rid of these tabs. All right, again, just gonna Google Sean Romano. Where is this guy's cell phone? Here we go. Mobile. Let's call him up. I've got a good feeling about Sean. Sean's got the deal that I want. 4976.
Hi, you've reached Sean Romano with LPT Realty, and your phone call is.
All right, Sean. Let's try that again.
Hi, you've reached Sean Romano with LPT Realty, and your phone.
All right, I want to get a hold of him, so we're going to call a third time. I typically only do twice. We're going to do a third time for this house.
Sean Romano speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, Sean, it's Nathan. How you doing?
Good. How can I help you?
Good. I was calling about a listing of yours. I apologize. My phone when I tried calling it was being funny going through.
Oops. No, that's fine. What did you need to know?
Yeah, I was calling about the one you have on Forest Grove.
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at it as a potential investment opportunity. I'm interested. I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about it and anything in particular you think would be important for someone like me to know.
Well, the tenant doesn't move out until December 31st, so that might be a problem for you.
Is the tenant paying?
Excuse me?
Are they paying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's not necessarily a problem.
Yeah, the lease is uploaded in the MLS. It's 1,500 something though.
Okay, so there's a tenant in place. They're paying 1,500.
1,550 or something like that.
Okay. Cool. What are they looking to stay there and renew the lease?
I already asked him if they take cash for keys, and he might as well have just said no because he told me $10,000.
Got it. Okay. So they're in there. They're paying him roughly 1,500 a month. What's kind of the general condition of the house?
I mean, you got a 15+ year roof. You got a newer AC. It does need to be repaired, but it is newer within the last couple of years. The landlord's just being kind of stingy right now. He's just trying to sell, then do the repairs because he doesn't want to give people extra shit to ask about or ask them to fix.
Sure.
They'll
Yeah.
just take care of it when it comes around if necessary.
Yeah.
The water heater, I have no idea, and he has no idea. And the plumbing, he has no idea, and I have no idea.
Man, my guess is sounds like between the cellar and this house and everything, this one's probably been a bit of a headache for you.
Yeah, oh yeah, all three.
Got it.
His.
Has he got two others he's looking to sell too?
Yeah.
Got it. Are they listed?
1629 Hastings Drive in Deltona, and then 5030 Indy Atlantic Drive,
Okay.
Orlando.
What for this one on
the 5030 has a tenant that he renewed, so they won't move out until April next year. They're on Section 8. They're paying a way larger amount.
Okay.
And 1629 Hastings is vacant.
Does he have any interest in selling them all together for making something work?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay. And my number one thing, I'm sure you've gotten a million calls and a million people just kind of hitting you guys with low offers.
Like 6 months. So
yeah,
or not 6 months, but like maybe like 4.5.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, my goal, one thing, I'll just be transparent with you. My number one goal is to never insult you or the seller with a low ball offer. I know how investors can be sometimes.
Well, I can tell you where they are now. They've already had price reductions of probably around 10K or 20K. And doesn't listen to my advice very much.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to play the reverse role. Instead of moving up, we're moving down. And he just gives me a lower price every couple of weeks.
Got it.
So, it's not that it would be disrespectful. He'll just say no.
Okay. Got it.
Where they're at right now, I would aim between 5 and 10 less.
Got it. Okay. So he's
at max 15.
Okay. That makes sense. Do you have an idea for the work that does need to be done to the house? Did you guys have any kind of just ballpark estimate?
For you.
Got it.
Like GC numbers.
When is that's all right. So listed for a while. I guess what's his situation? Is he it sounds like he's got no problem with sitting on it. I'm sorry, what was that?
He's trying to get rid of his last 3 properties in Florida and maximize profit. He's an investor himself. I mean, when you can say to your investor, would you buy this? No? Okay, so what the fuck makes you think everybody else will? Okay, all right.
I hear you.
But, they don't always listen. So.
And my guess is he's probably not open to doing any kind of financing or anything like that, right?
He was open to do financing, but he was saying, like, it's not going to be some bullshit interest rate that's stupid cheap, and it's not going to be something that will also last forever or a stupid long time. He's making it like somebody had asked previously, and I have like a copy and paste that I sent anybody else who asked to kind of what he responded to the seller financing.
Mm-hmm.
And I can send that to you. I'll just have to find it. It'll probably take me a few minutes.
It's okay. I mean, honestly, I would say right now, if I'm just being completely frank, I probably would be wasting your time, Sean, if I were to be honest. I don't want to do
most
that.
Most of the investors that are calling, if they're under 200, I'm telling them, yeah, just don't even worry about it.
Right. So what I'll say is, why don't you hang on to my number? If it is, and again, right now, and I'm not saying, I don't know exactly where I'd need to be at, I'm not saying I'd be at like 150 or anything crazy, but it just sounds like, given the circumstances right now, it sounds like, yeah, there's, he's not interested in budging at all. I understand. But I would say if he's kind of at a point to where he's ready to sell them, especially if he's looking to sell all three, there's definitely something we can make work there. And
I'll be honest with you, I would just keep watching, because all he's doing is, one time it was a 10K drop, one time it was 6. Like it's just, none of it makes any sense to anyone. So I would just keep watching, honestly.
Well, I'll tell you what, hang on to my number. And if something changes, or if kind of you guys are going to be making a change, shoot me a text or give me a quick call. I'm calling unrepresented. So, and I'm super flexible. There's a lot of there's just a lot of different things that we can do to make it, one, very accommodating for him, and two, so that you can.
The best thing you can do right now is, and then I'll run it by him, and then we can see if we can't, make something budge.
I don't want to do this unless I know we're
doing an all three together thing and just saying something, and then maybe that'll bring up a new conversation.
Okay. Do you could you just shoot me the other two? Could you just text me the other two addresses?
Yeah, I'll text you the addresses.
Okay. And I'll give you a ballpark idea as to where what kind of range I think we could be at with an offer.
Okay.
But we would definitely need to be able to get inside the property.
Okay.
And one thing is, my guess is you've probably gotten 100 calls from wholesalers.
Yes.
I'll let you know up front. If it's something I'm able to buy, great. If not, I do typically have one or two really good relationships. If I think that they're able to pay more than me, I'll let you know up front, and they can just walk through at the same time, and we'll figure it out when we get down the road. But yeah, I'll take a look and I'll let you know.
I'll send you the addresses.
All right. Thanks, Sean. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. Boom, 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 boom.
Why we call, bro? Dude, tell me that this guy's just like, bro, just make a low offer. I need to smash my guy with more offers so he can just stop wasting my time.
So a lot of really good stuff on that one. So one thing right off the bat, he was not happy that I called him 3 times. If you guys, right? Did you guys notice his tone in the beginning? And it wasn't until the very end here to where he's like, okay, this is a decent conversation, and he kind of eased up. But in the beginning, he was a little annoyed. You could tell he was definitely in the middle of something. But guys, you know what happened? Yeah, he picked up. He sounded a little agitated, but I've still got my birthday, right? So, it's only a phone call, people, right? They'll be okay. And honestly, at the end of the day, whether he sounds like it or not, I promise you, people that are serious about this business, especially somebody like this guy that's dealing with these headache properties, he appreciates a serious investor going above and beyond to try to make this deal happen. Because as you could tell, he wants nothing to do with it, right? He is done with the seller. He's done with these deals, with these listings. He wants nothing to do with it. And also, right. So price, we didn't get very far on price. So, and right off the bat, he didn't want to give much information. But we kept kind of probing a little bit, kept asking questions, right? And seeing kind of what the options were. And so the other thing, the big thing was, I didn't just say, yeah, we can submit an offer at 150. One thing we did by the end of this phone call, he's sold on wanting to work with me. Right? Like, he's going to go a little bit of an extra mile for me in the offer that I make, because he's like, you know what? This sounds like there could be potential there. All right. And that's why we take that time, because we need him on our team, because we need him to try to sell the seller on working with us. And guys, this is why the highest offer does not always win. Right. Mm-hmm. And also, the other big thing, did you notice how we told him we were going to be wholesaling this property? Right.
Yep, I don't know, slick.
Don't need to worry about an assignment clause. I don't need to worry about,
He didn't
oh,
care.
my
He was like,
contractor's coming to look
dude,
at it.
if you can get this thing done, for who cares? Just do whatever you got to do.
Right. So yeah, did you guys have any feedback on it?
Yeah, I got a ton of feedback. So he also was like, I don't think he would hit you up, to be honest. Like he's at the point where you're like, hey, call me, text me. He's like, no, bro, just make an offer, and that's where we'll go from here. Like, I need you to.
He did just text me the 3 addresses.
Good. But I don't think I don't think like most agents that I've said, like, keep my number, hit me up. They never do.
Yeah. Great point. I just want to piggyback off that. Yeah, guys, never listen to them on, right? Like, he's like, oh yeah, I'll keep in touch. Right. So I set that expectation with him. But typically what I would do is immediately after the call, I would send a text message saying, hey, great chatting with you, blah, blah, blah. Just send me those 3 addresses when you get the chance. He already did it. And then, right, this is one that we would want to follow up with the agent until the seller's ready.
Yeah, no, exactly. So you definitely going to want to follow up with that guy. He said, dude, just check this thing every like week, because this guy's just randomly dropping the prices. I don't know what he's doing. He doesn't listen to me. So that's another thing, is like, this is going to sell. This is going to sell to somebody. He wants it done. You just have to be honest. So this is something I would keep looking at. And the other 3 he sent you, he's done. You can tell the guy's done. He doesn't want to spend any more time. If my opinion, what I would do is I would just be like, bro, I looked at the numbers, like, just from the information I have, this is where I'd be. I know it probably won't work, but just send it to him. And then me and you can work together to whittle him down. Cause this is where it seems like this property is. That's how I would kind of attack it, is like, look, you want this done just as bad as I want a deal. Let's work together. Cause the investor is not realistic that's trying to sell this, but maybe we can work on it together. If you can develop that trust, that's how this deal gets done. Versus when we first started this call and we said, people, they think if they just go make a low offer, that's it. Guys, you're about to see what's going to get this deal done is the relationship with him and the agent, and working to form a deal, like make an offer that's going to make sense back and forth. Right. That's my opinion. Benson, do you agree?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I think you're right about that. The only other thing I would have added to that at some point, and maybe this isn't a follow-up call, is, do you come across these kinds of properties often? If you come across anything like this and you have these troublesome, investors that maybe you don't want to get into another listing like this again, and you just want to sell it, just call me directly and we can work this out before you even put on the MLS.
Love that. Yeah. And that's a really important point. And so to clarify, if by the end of the conversation, it's like, okay, this is a dead deal, I'm not going to be following up with this person, then I always bring that question up. When I get off a phone call like this, to where the next step would be, hey, let me look at my numbers and I'm going to give you a call back. On that second call, if it doesn't go anywhere, then I'll be like, hey, well, do you have anything else? I like to, if the property I'm calling on, or that I'm talking to them about, is still an opportunity, I like to keep the focus on just this one opportunity and just kind of knock them down one at a time. But excellent point. Like, yes, whether it's on your first call or the next call, it is always better to ask than to not do it at all. Whether it's your first call, second call, doesn't matter. Always, yeah, definitely ask. And then
another thing I want to say is, you called 3 times, and I wrote called 3 times and he answered. Look, guys, how many times have you called someone, they see your number, and you call once and they're like, I don't know who that is. You call twice, they're like, it's probably spam. And then 3 times, they're there, guys. Benson, do you have your phone on you? Nathan, do you have your phone? Can you just hold it up to the screen? Guys, we live in a world, people have their phones glued to their faces, their heads, their hands. You're calling these people, they see your call. I swear it's not in a drawer somewhere for 99% of these agents who that's their livelihood. They're probably just not answering because they don't know who you are. So I honestly think maybe we might have to juice this thing up to 4 to 5 calls in a row eventually, with how much it's all I'm saying is they're there. Okay. They're there.
And do we, how much do we got? 5 minutes?
We got 5, but let's wrap it up on the calls. Let's
I was gonna see if we had a quick 5 minutes for the crash and burn call.
Yeah, let's do a crash and burn call. This sounds fun.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll make it quick. Let's
this
do
is
it.
good. I didn't even think we could do a segment of what not to do. Just do
We
terrible.
already called this one, I think.
Let me call that same agent 3 times and be
This
like,
is-
I'll give you 120.
Let's look at one from yesterday. All right, guys. So this is gonna be what not to do. All right. So this is a rehab house. Let's call this person up because the numbers don't matter. It's been listed for 1 day. Perfect. So guys, this is gonna be what 99% of people do. And I feel so bad for Joseph, who we're about to call here. Right? Don't be rude, but this is what everybody does.
I'm
You guys
curious
gonna
to
see
see what
how-
you think everybody does, because maybe it's true.
I know,
maybe
right?
it's
Imagine
not.
I'm totally wrong. People are like, oh my goodness. What are you doing? All right. So 813-766-4266. You know what's gonna happen? It's karma. And the guys just be like, yeah, we'll take it.
Hello, this is Joe.
Hey Joe, it's Nathan. How you doing?
Good, good.
I was calling about the listing you have on 20 or 30-second, not 20-second.
30-second, yep.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm looking at it as an investment opportunity. I see you got a listed for 285. I was wondering what's the lowest you think the seller would take?
Not sure. He just went on vacation today. Just hopped on the flight, so roughly around that number.
Okay.
He's not desperate. I got like 5 other properties listed of his. And you know, they're not moving either, so he's not looking at jumping on anything too low.
Got it. That's tough. For me, for a cash offer, I know you got listed for 285. I'd probably need to be a lot closer to like 160, maybe 170.
It's a full rehab house. That's what we bought it for, to flip it.
Oh yeah. So is that a no on the offer?
Yeah, man, that's a full rehab house, man.
All right. Well, Joe, I'll tell you what, man. If circumstances change, feel free to hang on to my number, and love to pick up the conversation.
Gotcha.
Thanks, Joe. Take care. Right? He hangs up.
Hey, hold on,
Now,
bro.
poor Joe, super nice guy.
Yeah, that guy was really
way
cool.
nicer than most people.
That's actually the guy that you probably could you could do this to and not it go as bad as it usually goes. He was pretty cool.
Right, but even the nice guy, dude, it ended with
Bro,
him.
you called on
like,
a rehabbed house, though. I thought you were gonna be calling on a crappy house.
we can call on whatever, man. It's the conversation goes the same every time, guys. Right. So you're gonna get when you start off that way, right? I'm just saying, if we were to have the same conversation, if I was to call him back with a different phone number, I promise you it'd be a world's different conversation, right? The conversation that we had with Sean, imagine if I were to have that with Joe, how much further we would get, right? Whether it's a fully rehabbed property or it's, an absolute tear down, guys, it's similar results because it's a similar conversation, right? And so whether it's a tear down or whether it's rehabbed, guys, agents don't want to have that conversation, right? It doesn't make them feel good, doesn't make the seller feel good. And that's why, we do this, is so that you can see, oh yeah, there is a world's difference between what one person's doing and what the other person's doing. And it's not just about, oh, let me submit an offer, right? It's building the rapport, uncovering all the information and really having a conversation. And most importantly, guys, what was the number one thing I didn't do on this call? Did it sound like I cared at all about the seller situation, the agent situation, or how to, do anything that's beneficial for them? No, all it sounded was self-centered. I'm calling about me, for me, and just to make me money. Right. And guys, yes, we're in this business to make money. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, when it comes to negotiating, you will get so much further if the only thing you kept in mind was, I'm just going to genuinely care about the other person, more than, care more about their outcome than they do.
Yeah, it's just the first part of sales is actually like looking for that one win-win scenario and loving others. just caring and trying to take care of people. So Nate, great job, man.
Amazing.
Could have gone a lot worse, to be honest. Here, you want to stop sharing your
know.
screen? It could have gone a lot worse, but that guy was super chill. And that's actually probably someone that probably deals with a lot of investors. So when he heard you say that, he's probably like, all right, they're just cutting to the chase. That's fine. But when you're dealing with someone that doesn't get a lot of these properties, he had 5. He had another 5. So give that to somebody who doesn't. It definitely doesn't go well at all. So, but he was used to that. So, Benson, any feedback? Anything you want to say before we wrap up? I think today's call is really good and help people understand how to do this, how to call agents.
No, it's confidence. So you just came across really confident, right? Because you've done the reps, right? So if you're not confident in the way that those calls should go, then you need to practice more, right? So just to do the reps, it's going to sound weird at the beginning and you're going to feel uncomfortable, but pretty soon you're going to get to a place where you know the strategy from learning it from Nathan and Nathan. And then pretty soon it won't matter anymore. And you're not going to be scared of the outcome. Just like what Nathan said, I've still got my birthday, right? Like that's at the end of the day, you're still going to have your birthday. Nothing's going to go wrong.
I love it. And guys, I read a book this morning that I really like. This is obvious, right? But it says we learn to do by doing. Okay. And then you must practice to become what you seek, right? So if you want to be an ultimate closer, if you want to be really good, this is practice. Nathan is good at this because he's practicing. I'm good at this because I'm practicing. Benson, obviously, he's been practicing, he's been working at investing, and he's been able to improve over time. So Nate, you want to kind of let people know about why practicing and taking action is the key to success in real estate and how it entails like what we do at Painless Flipping? You want to kind of let people know about that?
Yeah, guys. So, one of the things, the reason why we do this is we like to kind of show you guys, hey, how does the business work? What do these conversations look like? Right. And like Benson was saying, guys, it's okay. You don't have to have this mastered overnight. It's unreasonable to think you should have this, perfect overnight. Guys, I've spent thousands and thousands of hours just on sales and negotiating, right? Specifically for real estate. Spent a lot of time talking to people, right? And talking to sellers and agents and so on. So it didn't happen overnight. Now, at the same time, that's also why we put together what's called Painless Flipping Academy. If you guys go to painlessflipping.com, you can learn more about it. It is not a mentorship. It's not coaching. It's not education. It is a service. We're done with all that. We used to have a mentorship. We got rid of that because we learned that one of the things that we saw is it's unreasonable to give somebody the whole book. Hey, here's everything A to Z. Go do it. No, we learn through almost an apprenticeship-like model by starting at step 1 and having kind of that expert there with us that can take it the rest of the way. So that's why we kind of put together the Painless Flipping Academy. And again, guys, go to painlessflipping.com to learn more about it. Again, it's not like an expensive mentorship. It's a done-for-you service to where it allows you to focus on just one thing, just that first step. If you guys were watching tonight and if you thought, if your only focus was, hey, I think I can find an opportunity on Privy and I think I could get good at that very initial conversation. If you think that's something that you could do, right? And then you knew I've got Nathan and Nathan right there next to me that could do every single other step for me. Do you think this business would be a little bit easier for you? Probably, right? Or at least I'd like to hope so. And that's what we do at the Painless Flipping Academy. Again, it's a done-for-you service to where it allows you to focus and master on step number 1, but while also having someone like us there to where when you do find that opportunity, right? And not saying a deal, not saying something under contract, guys, like a lead, a qualified lead. Imagine having someone there that can literally tell you, hey, here's what we think RV is. Here's what we think you could offer. Here's exactly what we would do in your specific situation on your specific lead. And here's the exact next steps that you should take. And then, you can either go and do it yourself or we can do it for you. Choice is totally yours, but that's what we do.
Boom. Nailed it, Nathan. You learn by doing. So that's what we're here for. Help you learn by doing. Benson, you got anything to say?
No, great job again today, Nathan. excited about this academy thing. It sounds like a really cool approach. It's different than what a lot of others are out there doing. So yeah, you guys should definitely go check this out. It sounds like it could be game changer.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And one last thing, guys, again, we were using Privy today. Guys, if you think I would be able to do as much as I did if I was using something like realtor.com or Zillow, no, it would have taken me all day to find which 1 or 2 houses I want to call on. So that's the power of really, really good quality tools. Guys, go to Privy, check it out. Should be a link somewhere down below.
Yeah, just use the promo code Painless. If you don't have our link, just use Painless. We get you a discount on your first month, and you're going to love it. Peace out, everybody.
Awesome.
There,
Everyone.
guys.
All right. Awesome.